It's all about you.
Greetings to our listeners out there. You are welcome to today's edition, actually the first edition of Where Life and Scripture Connect. And today we'll be looking at the discussion thread. It is difficult to follow while leading. This is amazing. And leaders, as leaders, we have people that are good at being at the position of leadership, but we have very few leaders who are willing to follow while they lead. As leaders, we ought to have it in our mind that we are not actually there to take people to where they don't want to go. We should understand that we are to follow our followers, because a driver doesn't take the people, the passengers, to where he wants to go. You're actually leading them or driving them to where they want to go. And that is why we have to come up with this discussion. Though very strange, we want to make you understand that as a leader, you are a follower. You are meant to follow. And we have a lot of leaders who find it very difficult to follow. You can't imagine a pilot would sit right there at the cockpit and with a different destination in mind from the people that he actually is carrying in the aeroplane. Jesus actually followed even as he was leading. He lived a life he taught his disciples, his followers, to live. And Paul encouraged, he said, whatever thing you see me doing, do that. Therefore, a leader should see him or herself as a follower in as much as he's in the position of that leadership, and he should deem himself as a coordinator who is there to actually pilot the affairs of the people that he's leading, and not just to sit as just a commander thinking that he's into autocracy. Then that means you have to actually go back to the military world if you want to be a dictator. But as a leader who is leading people in a godly way, you should learn to lead in the way Jesus did. Jesus actually led by living out the life he wants the followers to live. A leader who wants to get the best out of his leadership must be a leader who is acting his words, who is walking his words. And most times the actions or the things we do speak so loud that people cannot actually hear or the direction we are giving them as leaders. I've discovered that one of the difficult kind of leadership is the leadership of oneself. Most times it is easier to give people instructions, but very difficult for you to follow the instructions that you've given to people. You see, when you want to practice self-discipline, it becomes so difficult to follow what you've mapped out for yourself, and that is why every leader needs a very important skill, and that is the skill of following his own words. Thus, we can connect our leadership life with the scripture by looking at the life of Jesus. He actually led by living out what he wants us to live, the kind of life he wants us to live. So as leaders, we'll be willing to be followers. We'll be humble enough to follow our own leading. Yes, it's indeed difficult to follow while leading, but we should have it in mind that a good leader is actually a leader who has every attribute of a good follower. In conclusion, for you to make a good leader, you must have served. You must have known what it means to be a servant. For that, you can be able to understand what it means for those people who are actually following you, what they are passing through, and how to tackle it at every point in time. Leadership is a call for stewardship and not a call for dictatorship. I hope you become a better leader by following to the world at large, your family, your workplace, among your peer group, and the least negligible cycle you find yourself. Thank you very much for watching. We'll keep coming your way with more discussion threads, pointing to you where life and scripture connect. Please don't miss out. I'm still your hostess, Ezeonwo Chinyere. God keep you.
As if you should do things my way.